It seems I am live. At least I hope so. Welcome to all of you joining live, and of course to all of you joining by video for yet another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana. As we approach the holiday of Mahashivaratri, our topics are kind of focused on how we get in our own way, kind of the darker side of ourselves, if you will, and then how we can get out of our own way. And Jung would heartily approve because Carl Jung, who studied actually Eastern philosophy, said that we need to embrace the dark qualities of ourselves. If we just try to repress them or hold them off, they are actually going to come back to bite us. And today we're talking about yet another thing that can come back to bite us. We'll be using the same verse of Bhagavad Gita that we have for the past few days because it's just chock full, like all verses are, of info. Yesterday, if you remember, we talked about one of the things Arjun said in that verse was that he surrenders. And we dedicated yesterday's practice to Bhuteshwara, master of elements, Shiva in the form of master of elements. And like there's a lot of irony in the Gita, so I tried to play with that. It is said that Bhuteshwara is the complete master of his destiny. And Arjun was learning how to surrender because many of us have a hard time doing that. Today, something else we may have a hard time doing, which is accepting that there's still a lot to learn. And we're dedicating today's practice to Lord Shiva in the form of Adiyogi, which means the first yogi. Lord Shiva representing consciousness, becoming totally united with the thing, the person, the being he loves most in this world, which is energy, and teaching us how to become at one with ourselves and relieve our suffering. In the Yoga Sutras, it says our greatest suffering comes from feeling like we're separate from everything, we're disconnected. And Lord Shiva, in the form of Adiyogi, helps us relieve that suffering. And that's what Krishna is doing for Arjun at this juncture of Bhagavad Gita. Arjun, if you remember, we talked about some calculations of his age where he might have been about 54 or 55 when the Bhagavad Gita was narrated to him. And he'd been a warrior, and he was hailed as one of the top warriors, not just in the world, but of all time, like the GOAT of archers. And one of the things that kind of served him leading up to this battle that he's about to begin is that he did think he kind of knew. He knew who he was. He knew where he was going. He knew his cause was just. He knew how to fight and get results. And now he's realizing, wait a minute, maybe I don't. And this happens to many of us, especially when we try to see the world in black and white. Arjun was thinking, we're the good guys, my brothers and I are the good guys, and the people opposing me are the bad guys. And that is so easy to think until Krishna drives the chariot between the two armies of the good guys and the bad guys and stops the chariot right in front of people Arjun has known his whole life. And Arjun realizes he can't peg them as purely bad. They have good in them. And he's going to have to fight and kill people who aren't just evil. And this is hard for him. How does he do that? This is kind of new in a way for him. Learning how to see the complexities and the grays in the battles of life. It marks the loss of an innocence, but also the beginning of true wisdom. And Krishna, in his subtle way, is imparting that. And now, in a not so subtle way, Arjun is saying, please teach me more. So, as a reminder, verse 7 of chapter 2, Arjun says to Krishna, the flaw of pity taints my very being. My mind is confused as to what is duty. I beg you say clearly what is best for me. I am your student. I surrender. Teach me. So here's someone Arjun has known all his life, and suddenly he realizes, hey, this guy can have something to teach me in this moment. And it's reminiscent also of a person on the Indian subcontinent revered as Dattatreya, the founder of Ayurveda, yoga's sister science. It said that Dattatreya was actually a combination of the essences of the gods Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and that he taught the world how to relieve its suffering. And he was such a mighty teacher. However, he claimed that he had 24, not just one, but 24 teachers of his own besides the soul. He claimed the soul as his ultimate teacher. Some of his teachers included the earth, the sky, the moon, a child, a maker of arrows. And this shows great humility, which perhaps when it comes to learning, when we get older, we lose that humility, thinking, oh, we've experienced it and we know it. But maybe something around you today has a valuable lesson for you. For example, the earth. I'm thinking that today because today here in Cleveland, it's supposed to be 24 degrees Fahrenheit above normal temperature. Is the earth trying to tell us something? I am not sure, but maybe we can listen. What do you need to listen to today? Where can you get more, better knowledge and wisdom that supports you in your material life, in your spiritual life, in every aspect of life? And again, today, I encourage you to listen to this inner wisdom, or maybe look around you as you do your mudra. Maybe something in the universe is like, oh, inspiring you to put your hand or your body in a certain place. Let the world be your guide. Let's begin. And it's warm enough, I don't have to shut the door. Switch sides. All righty. I'll be facing one of Dattatreya's gurus, the sun, as I meditate, perhaps contemplate what could be your teacher today. Where can you find wisdom? See you in 5. welcome back. I wonder if you discovered anything. I discovered today doing a pose that I've done for years now, and definitely 60 some days in a row, that if I do it as prescribed in many of the yoga texts, which is facing the sun at this time of morning, I can't hold the pose because the sun is so bright. My eyes are kind of freaking out a little bit, and then I wobble. It's like a whole new dimension of, oh, how do I master the pose? And also the idea of where is east? We say the sun rises in the east. Well, right now, east is that way. But you'll see as the months go by, the east is going to be that way after a while. So thank you. I learned many things today. You supported me in that. If I can support you in your learning, we have weekly classes, group classes starting up this week. My focus is on, instead of theoretical now, experiential, like with this sadhana. We're focusing on the chakra of Svadhisthana, the energy center in the sacrum. And my goal through pretty much all the classes I'm teaching at this point for the weekly classes is you have an experience of it. That way you don't have to refer back to books. Where is Svadhisthana? What does it look like? What are its sounds? What are its symbols? You just know it. You embody it. And if you'd like to join me, there's a link there. However you join me, whenever you join me, I hope our time together is fruitful. You helped me so much, and I look forward to you teaching me more tomorrow. Until then.